Hi guys, and welcome back to my 1936 bungalow renovation. This is Nick's Home Renovations, and in this video I'm glad to say that the builders are 90% finished, and I will start work on the internal work tomorrow. So for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, the builders have extended this 1936 bungalow from a 2-bedroom, ground floor only, to currently a 5-bedroom, and we've extended 4 meters by 7 meters at the back, about 11 meters by 2 meters on the side, and upstairs behind me, as you can see, is this massive but slightly unusual space of about 12 meters by around 3 meters of usable space, and then sort of another 2 or 3 meters of storage space. So the builders have done lots and lots, and they're nearly there now. But I'm glad to say this is the exciting bit, because I get to come in from tomorrow, start my rewire. I have organised all my guys already, so my plumber starts next week, and I can start to book in people like the plasterer. But I've got lots and lots of things to do and lots and lots of things to show you. So I'll take you on a walk around and tell you about everything I've been up to. Really excited to push forward now, as you can probably tell. So I'm in the new loft space, so the stairs will come up here, which I'll show you from down there later. This down the end will be the bathroom, and then this lovely long space is the old loft. So this boarding at the moment is just temporary for safety, but what we're going to have down the end here, looking out to this lovely garden, is a Juliet balcony, double doors in the middle with glass either side, left, right and above. So all of this you see here up to the brickwork will be open and with a nice view down to the garden. The garden, as you can see, we are now all the way down to the end of the extension up here, and we've still got about 80 feet of garden. So what a lovely size still, despite going 4 meters out at the back. One of my many jobs obviously is to do both fences. As you can see, the right one is slightly worse than the left, but both need doing, and obviously the lawn, and then plant some trees and things, because we really ripped out a lot of them, so we've got to put a lot back. So this is the space up in the loft. It's kind of a multi-use space. I'll tell you a little bit about it first. So the old house basically used to end around here, so you can see the extension on this left side, and then the old house ended there originally. So all of this here has been extended outwards, and obviously all of this space before was just loft space. So we've taken this whole, and we've used every little bit. So starting in the ensuite, I'm not quite sure of the layout yet, because it's quite a nice size in here, but obviously there's reduced head height everywhere. This is going to be a Velux window in here. I decided to go for top hung windows, which are slightly more expensive, but as we don't have a lot of head height up here, as soon as you shift 1 meter to the right or 1 meter to the left, it all of a sudden starts to get around sort of head height up here, so it sort of infringes on the space. So I've gone for top hung Veluxes, because they open out more like a dormer loft, so I think that'll give it a bit more space. So we have 1 Velux in here, 1 Velux in front of the landing, which this will be the stairs coming up, which I'll show you later, and then 2 more Veluxes, nice big ones, in the main part of this bedroom slash office space, whatever you want to use it for. At the end here, I just can't quite work out the configuration, but the most head height is in this central bit, so perhaps that's where the shower will be. But we've actually got space, surprisingly, for a bath in here as well, which I didn't think when the plans were initially drawn up. So whether or not we do that is yet to be discussed, but obviously there'd be a minimum of a toilet, shower and sink up here. And then you've got this lovely space of about 9 meters by 3 meters. Some of you eagle-eyed people might notice that the ashlar wall on the right is slightly further back than the one on the left. This is deliberate. I basically spoke to my carpenter, because this is such an unusual space with the head height, how to sort of make this feel bigger and get the most out of it, and he actually said he converted his one at home, and he did exactly the same. So I spoke to the building inspector and they said we were allowed to move this one joist over. So we moved it one joist over because it's supporting the roof. We couldn't do too much, but it basically gives us so much more options. So it allows us to, where the stairs come up here, board off, and this area can be anything from wardrobes to storage to drawers, and it doesn't infringe too much on this space coming in here. And it allows us to either have the bed centrally up here, which I don't think quite works because you don't have the room to walk around. So if the bed was sort of where the camera is now here, I don't think you have a lot of room either side to walk, in my personal opinion. And you wouldn't want the bed over the Velux anyway, unless it was back here, which might be quite cool. But my idea is to have the bed on the side here, nearer this lovely view. It will be a lovely view eventually. And I can actually get my carpenter to manipulate a bit more of the ashlar wall to give us a bit more depth for walking around that way. That's the plan anyway. But today, actually, I mean, the office is such an important part of people's homes as well now, with everything that's going on, people working from home a lot more. So this could even be an amazing office space, as you've got the toilet up here as well, or even a children's, 1 or 2 children's bedroom. You've got so much space up here. Admittedly, some reduced head height, but I'm just shy of 6 foot, and if I move to the side, I've still got a bit of room. So it's a nice size space, much better than I thought it was going to be initially. Any other thing to discuss is what I've got to do up here. So my job, so I just get my builders to do all the structure work, and I do all the internal works myself, starting from the rewire. So one of my jobs is, this is 150mm timber for the rafters. This needs to be insulated. So what you do, you leave a 5cm gap, which is an air gap, so no cold bridging takes effect. So I usually put a little cable clip or something there to leave that 5cm gap there, and then we'll put 10mm fixed insulation there. And then you also, current regulations state that you have to board below that as well. So you've got a gap there, insulation there, and then insulation below the rafters here too. And that just makes this space obviously very well insulated, as well as obviously doing everything you see here. So all of these walls, the ashlar walls, all of this flooring here, this eventually is all going to be boarded to use as extra space with a few doors to access. So lots and lots of insulating between everything you see here, as well as this stud wall into the bathroom. We were going to have a stud wall here as well, to make this sort of a landing area, but actually I actually prefer it just as one huge room, and then we can speak to my carpenter about what he can do in this space to make it really cool at a later date. I think putting a door here and there just wastes a big chunk of space. It seems a bit unnecessary for me. Right, I'm going to take you down this very old ladder. So this ladder was here when I bought the house, so I need to be very careful because it looks at least 50 years old, and I need to get ready and get a new one. So down here the builders have done lots and lots and lots. So I'll take you around. They've extended everywhere, all the stud work's done. I'll start from the front door. So these are the Veluxes ready to go. I got those from a company called Yard Online. They were by far the cheapest I found. This is the only room with no activity. I've got my quote for the windows. The windows will be going in around 6 to 8 weeks. That's a really exciting stage because then all the plastering can get done. The plasterers can do some walls, but better to wait for all the windows to come in. The front door, I've also got a really nice period door to match a 30s property. And I'm going to have the number in that little bit up there. I think that's going to look really cool. The bathroom is now a lot bigger, so this has been completely opened up, ready for the builders to just put a little bit of stud work in here for the plumber's pipes. And we've just got to take out a tiny bit of this wall as well to just make this storage cupboard slightly smaller and give us a bit more room over here. And that's where my fuse board's going to be, and then that stud work is what my fuse board will sit on, with easy access for my cables going up and down there. And as you can see, that's the gas meter in there as well. Coming through to the front room. Depending on what you think about upstairs, this could be the master bedroom now, because we've extended out the side here around 10 meters by 2 meters where the old garage was. We've added this lovely window here too. And then this is the nice new space. So this stud work in the middle is going to be the new ensuite. And it's got, you have lots of room in here and lots of choices. Already see the waste stack in place, obviously, that the builders have put in. And I'll show you what's the other side in a minute. See the steelwork the builders have had to put in. So they had to put in one piece here and one piece over there to support upstairs and this side extension. And I'm really pleased with the size of this room, what I'm calling the master. This is that funky space that used to be the start of the lounge. We've studded it all off everywhere. So this will be a corridor down here. This will be the staircase up to the loft. You can see that rickety old ladder that I carefully used. And then that I'll show you from another direction is the utility room. And this is the back of the side extension now. So this is an additional bedroom. So if you count upstairs as a bedroom, that's one additional bedroom. And this is the second additional bedroom to go with the one at the front. Again, steelwork put in here. And you can see the lovely pitched roof. The guys have put in, sorry, which again needs to be insulated along with all this stud work. You can see here and in the back extension that I'll show you shortly that this has been screeded but not to finished floor level yet. So what needs to happen now is 120mm of insulation needs to go in, and then that needs to be screeded again. We basically do it in this order so the plumber can run his pipe work in there for the radiators in the kitchen. Then we insulate and pour the screed again to bring that all up. You can see the different levels here quite clearly between the old house and what we've done here new. Showing you new bedroom number 4, although I sort of see this, if this is a family home, as maybe a children's playroom because it's right off of the lounge, but gives you enough privacy for the thousands of toys, things that children always tend to have. So for those of you that have watched all these videos, this used to be the back door with a window, and we've bricked it in to have nice one nice square window. So yeah, I see this. I mean, it is a lovely sized bedroom actually, but it's also a lovely sized children's playroom as well. So that's bedroom number 4, and then I'm calling that small one towards the front of the house a single bedroom as well for number 5. And then coming back to this pretty cool extension at the back now. So this is just over 4 meters by around 7.7 meters. And we're going to have a lovely bifolding door here with the kitchen up this end, and the bifolding door is going to squeeze this way, and we're going to have an L-shaped kitchen up this end. We're turning along here with a nice island here, and then you've got that new space over there which is the utility, which I can show you in a minute. Window here, so I'm picturing the sink here with a nice big one opening window there to give it as much glass and as much light as possible in the kitchen. And then this is also a new window that's been added that the builders need to put a lintel in for, which they haven't yet done. And then you can see this lovely garden, which is still a good 80 feet, where a lot of work has got to go on, but I'm not thinking about it yet. Just show you the house on the back with all the scaffolding. We've had such wet weather, which is typical because I've had no roof for a while now. The builders have done a little bit of the roof on the other side, but not much on this side, as you can see. But I really like how this house looks now. And it's about to rain again. How this house looks now with that Juliet balcony up there. It looks much more striking than it did before. I'm really excited to push on. I've done a little bit more of a roof over there, but you might not be able to see. I'll try and have a walk around on the scaffolding too. Quick cut to the roof. So I've retained the old tiles and ordered around 3,000 tiles from a reclamation yard, as I wanted to keep this as authentic as possible. As it's a 30s property. As you can see from the side there, this part hasn't been done yet. But I think the bit that has been tiled so far looks really nice. I'll show you down the side because the left hand side of the property is now looking really cool. And you can see those Veluxes up there. So these are the old tiles, and we've mixed them in with a few new ones from a reclamation yard. But actually it looks really nice. I'm really glad I didn't go for a brand new tiles. It just would have made the house stand out so much more from the neighbours. I want to keep this as authentic as possible. And there's that nice big opening that I couldn't show you from up there. We boarded this for safety, obviously. This is my Juliet balcony for the loft. All of this is going to be glass and door. It's going to look really nice. And then this is downstairs. So the whole house comes out nice and flat now, except for this bit down here, which we had to allow for that window for the bedroom. And this one is to be continued. So again, insulation needs to go down here, 120mm, to bring this floor level right up, and then we'll screed again. So that's the walk around. So as you can see, the builders have been very busy. They've been here for about 3.5, 4 months, and they've done quite a lot in that time, especially with they've been on another job as well and everything going. Oh, I forgot to show you the utility. Sorry, let me show you the utility. And then now coming from the kitchen, so here's the kitchen here, L shape, walk through here, and then now you've got the nice utility, and it's a really nice size actually. So in here we're going to have the boiler, the washing machine, another sink, and lots of storage space, because we've taken away a bit of storage space in the hall, and obviously there's no loft anymore. I think it's important to have lots of big tall units here, and then maybe some lower things here, a wall unit and a worktop and a sink. But it's really important to have a nice big utility room if you're lucky enough. So lots of timbers, nice new timbers for me to bring my lights through. That's what I like to see. Really easy for electricians when it's new stuff like this. And then there's another steel that the builders have put in to bridge this for upstairs. And actually this is actually a structural wall. It may not look like it, but we had to pour concrete under here. I think it was 60 centimetres, 600mm. And also this wall here is actually supporting the loft as well. So we were debating leaving all of this open plan, but actually building control said this is actually playing an important part in holding up upstairs. So that had to stay. So that's the walk around. I'm going to, in the next couple of weeks, put a video of sort of phase 1, which will be every video I've taken so far put together, so people can see sort of the before and after of what the builders have done. And then now from tomorrow I'm starting phase 2. So I'll be filming and posting a lot more than I had before, because the builders have done 99% of the work so far, and now it's down to me. So the builders go and I use my team that I've used for years. So my plumber's booked in, as I said, for next week. My plasterer's booked in for around a month. Window fitters booked in for around 2 months. And then kitchen fitter, carpenters, everyone else in the future that have to have dates to move around. But now is the exciting part for me and the busy part for me. And I can obviously start my rewire, which this has gone from about 850 square foot with the garage to around 1650 square foot. So I'm doing the rewire alone, so that's a bit of a job on its own. But I've also got to insulate the floor, insulate the ceiling, insulate the walls, and all the loft space. And the builders have just got left to put the roof on, a few lintels here and there, and then a few odds and sods, a few stud walls. So still a lot to go, but I'll put one big phase 1 video on, and then I'll get going on phase 2, which is the exciting part for me, and hopefully you guys enjoy the finishes I go for. I'm trying to keep it traditional, as this is a 1930s property, but also, you know, it's modern in some areas, but especially places like bathrooms, I think I quite like traditional tiles. But then other areas of the house, I think we can go slightly more modern. So I hope you like it all so far. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments. Remember, I'm on Instagram, 1936 Bungalow Renovation. Thank you everyone for following and subscribing. It's been great. The support I've had so far is incredible, and I'm nearly at 30,000 subscribers, so that's insane. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.